present the respiratory and circulatory system using Google Slides-based learning playlists. Let's put our hands together for Ms. Laura May L. Martiliano.
So thank you so much for the introduction, Ma'am Neil. So before I start, is my audio clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So good afternoon, Mr. Antonio, Ms. Maniego, Ms. Del Caso, Mr. Manucom, and Mr. Cruz, and to our 34 participants for today. Thank you for joining us. So I am Laura May Martiliano from BSED 3A, and I will be your port presenter for today. So I was tasked to present my learning playlist that I have designed. You will notice that I haven't revealed my topic yet. Why? Kasi kailangan natin hayaan si student na i-unfold yon. So siya yung magko-construct ng sarili niyang knowledge, learning, at meaning. So gaya ng pag-create mo ng meaning sa simpleng sweetness niya. Kidding aside, yun ay dahil nasa constructivism, learner-centered approach teaching, at inquiry-based learning na tayo ngayon. Hindi na tayo spoon-feed na papakain na lang natin sa bata yung knowledge at hindi na talaga sila mag-iisip. So I also include here the feelings is important. Because most of the time, teachers often forget to give attention to this part. But not knowing na ang affective domain ng bata ay nakaka-apekto sa pagkatuto nila. Because behind this camera are the different untold stories. Some are having anxiety, financial problem, loss of family, yung iba ay naantok, yung iba nagti-TikTok, tapos yung iba nagfi-Facebook. So for the introduction, this 7 e-learning playlist is all about respiratory and circulatory system designed for grade 9. So it would consume 3 hours of instruction. So medyo nahirapan ako sa pag-construct sa kanya. Why? Kasi dalawang system sa isang learning competencies lang. So paano ko siya i-discuss kung dalawa silang sabay? So naisip ko, why not come up sa connection ng dalawa? So, di ba kapag may connection, involve yung dalawang bagay. Kapag nawala yung isa, hindi na siya magko-connect or hindi na siya magpo-work. So, yun ang tinarget ko sa part na to. So, ito yung overview ko. So, ayan po, yung mga ginamit kong technology-enhanced activity and the tools that I have used. So, this is all the tools that I have used and the activities. So, elicit. In the elicit part, this is used to gather the prior knowledge of the students. Kasi we cannot build new lesson without connecting the previous lessons. So using peer deck, so gagamit ng peer deck yung mga estudyante ko o estudyante natin. Tapos magkakaroon sila ng isang brainstorming activity. It's an image brainstorming or word brainstorming. So in this part, they will going to write all their prior knowledge. So as you can see, it's a picture in motion. So magtatanungan na ngayon yung students mo sa classroom. Pre, ano yung sinisingot niya? Vape ba yun? Pre, treating yan, tinuro yan ni ma'am. So, on the next part, so doon pa lang, nag-iisip na yung bata because questioning is the first step of knowledge according to Robert Spiritu. So, on the next part, oh, pre, kadami namang tumitibok sa presentation ni ma'am. Yan pa lang yung heart, pre, tingnan mo nag-iisa lang kasi isa lang ang pwedeng laman yan. O di ba? Dun pa lang. Kasi ang inquiry-based learning ay nag-highlight ng observation ng bata, ng pagtatanong at ng pag-questions ng mga bata. So, punta naman tayo ngayon sa periodic presentation. Kung gusto niyo pong sumagot, ito po yung next part ng activity ko. It's a mind mapping. So, tignan natin yung response ng mga bata. So, gamit yung peer deck application, nakikita natin yung mga responses nila. So, are you ready? Tignan na natin. Tanan! So, taking in of oxygen and taking out of carbon dioxide, the act of process of breathing, inhale and exhale. So, yun daw yung naging response ng tatlong bata na nag-participate ng activity na to. Next is circulation. Tignan nga natin kung may nag-response. Ayun, may gumagalaw, may nagtatype. So nakikita natin, nagpo-provide to ng engagement. That's the reason why we're using 7E, learning playlist. To provide what? Engagement among our learners. Ay, nag-delete pa yung isa. So lagyan nyo ng pangalan para makita natin kung sino yung mga sumasagot. So engage. The attention catcher E. Ang tatandaan nyo lang dito, tagakuha ng attention ng bata. Sabi nga ng kaklase ko, strike the iron while it's hot. J.M. Candelosas 2020. So huhulihin mo na yung kiliti ng bata dito. Dito na papasok yung galing mo sa pang-uuto. Joke. So, di ba, according to Howard Gardner, yung multiple intelligence ng bata, iba-iba, bawat bata. So dito, ang target ko is mag-enjoy sila habang natututo. I was using 4 picks 1 word. Tapos, ibibigay niya yung ideas niya regarding the word na nabuo niya. So, may sumasabay ba sa aking presentation? Titignan natin kung may nagre-response. Tanan! Wow, inhale. May 3 nag-response. Thank you po sa 3 nag-response. So, pagkatapos nun, yung estudyante na yon, the students were going to explain what is inhale. So, in that part, nag-gather natin yung attention niya. Nakukuha natin yung attention niya, nagiging motivated siya matuto, at lumalabas yung mga iba pa niyang kakayahan. So, next. Ayan, ito po yung mga activities na binigay ko. So, gumamit lang ako ng peer deck para mabilis lang po siyang i-present sa mga bata. Kasi there are some students who are so lazy to open the links, especially kapag nakadata lang sila kasi nagtitipid lang din sila ng connection nila. Now, the students probably have an idea on what will be our topics. So, this time I reveal my topic, unlocking the connection of respiratory and circulatory system. Objectives. In everything that we do, there's always a purpose. So in these objectives, my objectives is to explain bakit konektado yung dalawang system, how they work together, analyze the lifestyle, yung mga impact ng lifestyle, kinakain or tulog or puyat ng isang tao, and then recognize the different types of diseases na pwedeng tumama sa kanila or sa family nila. Tantan, Dora the Explorer. In this part, ito na yung pinaka-highlight, sabi ni Sir Ron. This is the highlight of your 7 e-learning playlist. So sabi ng kaklase ko, pwede daw itong i-relate kay Dora. Kasi this is the time wherein the students were going to create self-discoveries, trial and error and experiment. So dito sa activity na ginamit ko, I created an activity which is bunch of grapes na kinoconnect sa parts ng respiratory system. And also, 2 activity. This activity involves experiential learning, inquiry-based, constructivism, at co-op experience. Kasi dito, sa unang picture na ipepresent ko, titignan ng bata, dito niya kukunin yung sagot. Wherein, sa next slide naman, may ubas. So, ayan yung ubas, di ba? Tapos dito sila kukuha ng sagot. So, ito ay learning by association or learning by connecting things. So, gusto nyo bang itry? Pwede kayong mag-draw dyan kahit saang slides. So, i-connect mo ngayon. So, pag nakita ngayon ng bata yung ubas, tapos nakita niya, wow, ang sarap naman ng alveoli. Kasi, kinonect niya doon. Kinonect niya doon yung learning niya. So, yan. Tingnan natin kung may nag-response. Tanan, may nag-response. Thank you po. So, using this per deck, makaka-involve tayo or makaka-engage tayo ng ating learners kahit na hindi tayo magkakasama. So, thank you po sa pagre-response. So, ito naman, building a lang model. So, in this part, ipapagawa natin to sa bahay nila. So, nag-provide ako dito sa ilalim ng instruction. Kapag kinlik mo to, mareredirect ka sa instruction. So, sinigurado ko din na yung materials na gagamitin nila is applicable at makukuha nila sa bahay nila. After that, ayan. So, 2 yung ginawa ko. Bakit ko ginawa to? It's for the process. Para mas maintindihan nila yung process ng tinuturo natin, hindi lang yung concept. Kasi too much concept can cause boredom. And always remember na kapag pinapagawa natin yung mga bagay sa mga students, there are 90% na maaalala niya yun. Kahit na balibalik na rin mo pa yung mundo. So, akala nyo ba, experiment lang yung pinagawa natin? No. Yung experiment na yun is i-video nila and then ipopost nila sa Padlet para makita ng isa't isa yung gawa ng isa't isa. So, dito sa loob ng Padlet, akala nyo ba tapos na ang pag-post? No. There's another question to ponder. These questions involve metacognitive question and reasoning skills of the students. Halimbawa, how does the movement of the diaphragm cause the air to go in and out? And, tingnan nyo, binlock ni Padlet yung prick ko. Binlock niya yung word kong prick dito. So, what might happen if you freak the balloon? So, ano daw mangyayari kapag pinatok ko yung balon? Which is yung balon ay nagsisimbolize sa lungs. So, dito naman, ganun din para sa heart. Yung process para sa heart. So, dito, what does the water inside the jar represent? E di mag-iisip na ngayon yung bata. Kasi yung project na pinagawa ko, water siya na color red. Kasi yun yung nagre-represent ng blood. Kung paano siya nasa transport kapag pinapump siya ni heart. So, balik na tayo. Ayan po yung Padlet natin na may question to ponder sa loob. Sa explain naman. So, this is the stage wherein all the discoveries of the student will be explained. However, hindi ka pa magtuturo dito Hindi pa. Taga-correct ka lang ng mga misconceptions nila. So yan, this time, we will now explain all your responses. So nakikita na natin dito yung trial and error ni student. So ayan, dapat ganito ang mga possible responses nila. Ngayon, pag pinresent natin sa kanila to, oy ma'am, mali po pala ako. Ginawa ko palang alveoli yung bronchioles. Ganon. So, the next part, ito po yung laman ng ating Padlet. Yung mga tanong sa Padlet, dito natin i-explain. So, para makikita ng bata, ay, doon pala ako nagkulang. Ay, doon pala ako nagkamali. Uy, tama pala ako. So, ito, example ng question natin. What happens if you pull down the balloon? So, in-explain ko, so binasa ko yun kanina. Kapag daw pinull down yung balloon, mag-expand. Kasi daw yung air pressure sa loob ng bote is lowered because of increasing the space inside the bottle. So, pag hinila daw, ganun namang hiyari. So, if you push, so ayan. Pero, actually, kapag diniscuss mo na to sa bata, hindi na totaling mag-explain ka kasi may idea na sila Doon na papasok yung constructivism kasi they already build their knowledge, their meaning on their own. So, ayan po. So, heart pump explanation. How does the water inside the jar represent? So, the water inside the jar represent the blood pumped by the heart. So, pinipindot-pindot lang ng bata. Pero, with just simple activity, the students was able to gain the process, the knowledge of the concept that we were teaching. So, sa YouTube presentation ng lesson, nag-formulate ako ng isang Edpuzzle video. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng bata gustong manood ng video. Yung iba tinatamad. So, sa Edpuzzle, so ito yung mga link na ginamit ko. Sa Edpuzzle, may mga tanong silang sasagutin. So, tignan natin. Kahit isa na lang kasi wala na tayong time. So, oops. So, ayan. Here's the Edpuzzle. So, ayan po. Play natin. So, itong mga dot na nakikita nyo, may mga question yan. So, bakit ko po ginawa yan? This is to require our learners na panooring maigi at tignang maigi bawat anggulo ng video na pinapanood natin sa kanila. Kasi yung iba, sasabihin na lang, uy pre, pakopya naman ng assignment mo. Hindi ko pinanood eh. Tinamad ako. Pero dito, solo nilang sasagutin yon. Kasi bawat duration, bawat stop ng mga dot na to, there are questions involved that they need to answer. So this is the Edpuzzle video. And let's unlock their connection. So I use Padlet here. So while learning the concept, of course, the student should learn the connection of the two systems. So here in Padlet, can you see my work? There's respiration, blood circulation, gas exchange, homeostasis, metabolism. So these are the words that relates the two systems. Now, what's the task of the students here? They are going to think why I relate this word to the system using the explore activity, the explain activity that they have made. So elaborate. So in this part, we will now proceed to the circulatory and respiratory diseases and how we are going to prevent it. So in this part, I provide scaffolding. Why? Kasi may mga students na naiiwan. And ramdam ko kapag naiiwan. So ramdam nyo ba yun? So this time, babalikan natin ng pahapyaw lang. Pahapyaw lang naman kasi they already constructed their knowledge na nga. So para lang talaga to sa medyo na huhuli pa. So this includes anatomy, inhalation, exhalation, gas exchange and the blood flow, circulatory system, the anatomy, the circulation. So there are 3 types of circulation. So the human heart. But after doing that, the students will now create their own concept map. So the concept map is the summary of everything that they have learned in the elaborate part. This concept map can be made to whatever platform they wanted to do, or if they don't have technologies in their house, they can also do it in a traditional way wherein they're going to draw it. So in the extent part, go further, deeper, but don't get lost. In this part, we will now tackle the different diseases affecting our respiratory and circulatory system and how we can prevent it. So in this part, if the students know the different kind of diseases, then they can use this to their family members if they have seen the symptoms. So the application is really crucial here. So this is diseases affecting circulatory system. So, and how to prevent these diseases. After learning these 3, the students will now make digital poster making. This is for information dissemination on how to take care of their respiratory and circulatory system. So I tasked them to post it in Facebook for public dissemination. So maraming viewers ang marireach ng mga nagawa nila. Kasi napaka-busy na natin ngayon. So sometimes, nakakalimutan na natin yung mga ganung bagay. Halimbawa, ng pagtitake care lang ng mga systems na to. So in evaluate, this time, we were going to test the students' retention and their skills. So this part, the students will going to answer a Kahoot quiz, 2 Google form assessment about our lesson, and it requires metacognitive and reasoning skills of our students. So here's the Kahoot quiz that I have made. So, can you see it? So these are the question or sample question that I have made in the Kahoot. So there's a bonus question here. What's the name of your beautiful teacher? So it's 20 items that requires thinking, not just memorizing. Because according to our CT, Ma'am Melen, masakit man, pero sabi niya, ang pinaka bulok daw na sistema ng pagkatuto ay ang pagme-memorize. Kasi kapag nakalimutan na ng isip mo, hindi mo na maaalala. So on Google Form, here, metacognitive assessment uli. Since gusto nga natin i-minimize yung cheating na pagtingin sa mga definition lang. So ayan, puro how, why. So requires talaga na mag-reason sila. So third one, ayan, effective naman yung ginawa ko dito. So, na-enjoy mo ba ang pag-aaral ng respiratory system? Naintindihan mo ba kung paano sila gumagana ng magkasama? O yung mga sakit? At nakagawa ka ba ng poster? At ano ang mga, naintindihan mo ba kung paano yung lifestyle mo nakaka-affect sa dalawang system na to? So, ayan, natapos natin ang quiz nila. So, naglagay ako dito ng reminder para sa kanila. Trust yourself, you know more than you think you do. So, always include your references, okay? Because wala naman tayong output kung hindi tayo nag-base sa mga naunang pag-aaral. And wrap up. So, my wrap up is have a clear objectives. Kasi kapag clear objectives mo, you will know if you have met them all. If you have met all the knowledge that the student should met. It must be well planned. So you can finally think of the different opportunities, tools, activities that enhances the higher order thinking skills of your students. So, realistic. This is the crucial reality. We are so busy using technologies, but oftentimes, we are forgetting those learners na wala namang laptop sa bahay. Wala naman silang phone at internet connection and they're just using their data connection. So sa paggawa natin, sabi din ni Sir Ron sa isang discussion, i-minimize lang natin ang paggamit ng technology na huwag bombarded yung bata kasi baka hindi na rin niya i-access at hindi na siya magpasa sa'yo. So student-centered. So yun nga, since ang K-12 natin ay nakasentro sa mga bata, sa experiential learning at sa inquiry-based learning, kailangan nating mag-isip palagi kahit simpleng activity lang na maibibigay yung mga pangangailangang cognitive ng bata at yung sa metacognitive nila. So yung consideration ko in making this playlist, so I use simple activity na possible na mag-provide ng inquiry-based learning nila. Bakit simple lang? Para siguradong ma-perform nila. Next, easy to use and easy to manipulate tool. So bakit ganun ang ginamit ko? Para alam nilang i-manipulate agad. Para pupuntahan nila. Hindi yung pagpunta nila, mag-iisip pa sila kung paano natin kakalikutin. So number 3, not all the students have a high-speed internet connection. Hindi naman lahat kayang mag-perform. So, anong silbi mong teacher kung ang mga may kakayahang mag-perform lang? Yung mga matatakal mo. So number 4, not all the students have laptops. So yung sinabi ko kanina, yun na yun. So, realization. Ito po yung iiwan kong tanong sa lahat ng future educators, teachers, at mga taong manonood nito. How will you make this different type of students learn best? Using your 7 e-learning playlist while considering their engagement, the technology, and the learning that they must gain. So, ang sagot, laging nasa kamay nyo. Because using the 7 e-learning playlist, we will make our students fall in love with our lesson. Sa lesson na, hindi sa'yo. Baka, kasi sabi nga ni Sir Ruben Borja, hindi naman natututunan ang pagmamahal. Kasi kung natututunan yun, pwede bang ikaw na lang yung tutor ko. So, that ends my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.
An excellent way of presenting respiratory and circulatory systems. Thank you, Ms. Laura May Martiliano.
早知惊鸿一场，何必情深一往？昨日人去楼空泪微凉，道不尽缘分无常，情如风过水寒，红尘难逃几次